Yo guys, what's going on? This is Jason, and we're going to be talking about another Sonic character, and that would be the main man himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, Sonic has had a long road when it comes to video games and TV shows, and, comic books, and, merchandise. Sonic has come a long way, from pretty much all the other characters I've talked about. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog's backstory and origins differ depending on the media. If we're talking about comic books, TV shows, or the main video game series, it definitely has, each of these media has a different take on Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, if we're talking about comic book, Sonic the Hedgehog is a freedom fighter who fights for the Resistance against Eggman and other nefarious, enemies that Eggman may be working with, or, he fights for Mobius. If we're talking about the TV show, practically there's practically I think 4 TV shows. The original Sonic the Hedgehog Sat AM kind of follows more of the Archie comic trend, where he's fighting against Eggman or Robotnik to free Mobius from the tyrant. And he's a freedom fighter who fights along with Sally Acorn, Tails, Knuckles, and some other Router and some other characters. Now, if we're talking about Sonic Underground, Sonic comes from royal blood, who's a prince, and he has a brother and a sister who go up against and fight against pretty much Dr. Robotnik to free Mobius. If we're talking about the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, it's a bit more silly, and it's just about basically random adventures with Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails against Dr. Robotnik. If we're talking Sonic X, practically follows more of the adventure style games. And if we're talking about Sonic Boom, well, Sonic Boom is just basically Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, random adventures with Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I did forget that there was a Sonic the Hedgehog movie called OVA Sonic the Hedgehog that went more for Sonic CD. Sonic goes up against Metal Sonic, and it's more of an anime style. I thought it was pretty cool. And don't forget that we're having a new Sonic the Hedgehog movie with Jim Carrey that I'm actually looking forward towards. Now, what I really am excited about when it comes to Sonic is that Sonic has a lot of alternate realities. He does become king in the future, and does marry Sally Acorn, and does defeat Dr. Robotnik, and all the other characters have their families and kind of grow old with their own kids. It's pretty cool, actually. And then you also have Sonic. I think Sonic, when it comes to his character dynamic, he does better in the Archie comics, because you see a lot more. Sonic is a lot more charismatic in the comics. He still has his cool one-liners, but I think he does better in the comics. Now, when it comes to TV shows, Sonic is very witty and kind of a smartass. He plays the cool dude. All the TV shows, Sonic is always the cool dude. He has some good one-liners that aren't too corny, but he always plays the cool guy, in the shows. That's pretty much one thing I think with all of the Sonic the Hedgehog TV shows they made over the years. When it comes to cartoons, is they've always make him the cool guys. He's always being cool on the cartoon shows, and he has the one-liners. And when it comes to his charismatic character, I think they do all right with it, but I think the comic book just does a tad bit better when it comes down to execution. Now, when it comes to the main video game series, Sonic is sort of all over the place, man. He goes from being edgy to being cool to being kid-friendly to being over the top, and then to being kindergarten-ish, over-the-top, bad dialogue, like Sonic Heroes bad dialogue. And I think that's what makes Sonic the Hedgehog's character sort of interesting, is he's sort of just this guy who's just, you don't know if he's going to be edgy, cool, or that family, fun, friendly type of thing that I don't really care for. Sonic is really cool when it comes to the games, because Sega tends to play around with his character and just experiments, and that's, to me, pretty awesome if you're able to do that, but do it correctly. Now, since we got all the obvious out of the way, let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog's character and origin mainly. He's a freedom fighter who's always fighting against Eggman. That's pretty much hasn't changed. And the fact that, Sonic, what's interesting about Sonic's character is that originally He was actually, like I said, he was brown. He actually was working with Robotnik at one point before Robotnik turned evil. Now, I'm not going to explain how Robotnik turned evil. I'll leave that for a Robotnik video. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog joins the Freedom Fighters against the Robotnik Empire, their Eggman Empire, and his arch enemy is Dr. Eggman, or Robotnik, we want to call him. And he decides, the war between the Resistance and the Eggman Empire goes for a long, long time. And and the whole point of Sonic the Hedgehog is that he's a freedom fighter who's super fast, destroys a bunch of Eggman's toys, and then the next day they do the same thing. So that is Sonic the Hedgehog in the nutshell when it comes to main story premise. His character, I think, I'm going to talk more about the comics, is I think he's a much more charismatic character because Sonic the Hedgehog in the comic books makes mistakes. You see him being more upfront with his friends. He tends to show a lot of concern to his uncle named Uncle Chuck, and his he just seems to be more, I guess you could say, he thinks about things before he does it. Something that I really appreciate. Now, one thing I think in the Archie comics and the TV show is that compared to Sonic X and in the video games, is that Sonic is a ladies' man. Sonic has never been afraid of the girls, and I think in the comic book series and the TV show, Sonic is definitely a chick magnet. Compared to the video games, they make him out to be this guy who's afraid of the girls and runs away from them. No, not that. In the cartoon show and comic book, he's a ladies' man. Damn, Sonic is a pimp. And that's all I gotta say about that. That's one of the cool qualities of Sonic the Hedgehog, is he's a pimp, man. Now, when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog's attacks and power, Sonic pretty much has super speed. He has supersonic speed, Mach speed, as some people call it. Sonic has homing attacks. He's really powerful when it comes to kicks and jumps. Sonic's able to bounce himself in high areas. In fact, Sonic the Hedgehog is able to destroy stick machines. And don't forget the fact that Sonic has a few cool gadgets where he can do like a ring, I guess a warp ring where you can follow a trail of rings to another part of the map. And he also has, the Chaos Emeralds to be able to go supersonic. Now that's all sounds cool on paper. And one thing, what makes Sonic cool is that, depending on the circumstances, he uses his abilities differently. They're not like this, run fast and defeat the enemy, homing attack. Sonic's able to use combinations to defeat his enemy, and I think that's pretty cool when it comes to power. Supersonic, he's just pretty much fast. He's able to whiplash the enemies or Dr. Eggman's Robotniks with just a blink of an eye. That's pretty much how fast it is. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog is just way past cool, man. He's been around since 1991, and I'm just happy to see the Blue Blur still, doing what he does best in today's standards, today's modern society. Just runs around collecting rings, defeat the Eggman, and then, goes on another adventure. Sonic the Hedgehog is a very simplistic character, but you can also add dynamic to that simplicity. To add a pretty interesting story, to throw Sonic into a mix of random stories that could work. I really think most of the time work. And I just don't see the problem what people have today with the character. A lot of people think that Sonic the Hedgehog should run fast and just collect rings. I think that's just, to me, it's very narrow-minded. Sonic the Hedgehog has a lot more going on than you think. And the fact that, he is simple. Sonic likes his freedom, loves to relax in a good adventure, but that's, with that simplicity and that lifestyle, there's a sense of dynamic. And I think a lot of people, it's a hit and miss when they see Sonic the Hedgehog and what the character represents. Other than that, that's just what I gotta say. Sonic the Hedgehog is way past cool, man, and the Blue Blur is just that. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time.